Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is a real honor to be with you here today. And let me start by particularly thanking the European issuers and the Federation of European Security Exchanges, FESE. I say it in Spanish. I hope it's correct. Some people say FESE, well, FESE, for their invitation. This is the second edition of the European Small and Mid-Caps Award, and it's the second time I participate in this event, for two reasons. The first was so successful that I said I really have to be with you the second time, because I really enjoyed so much the event that I said there has to be a second event, and if you want the participation of the Commission, I will do the sacrifice to be with you a second time. And as I said, it was so successful that I think the overall impression was we badly need a second one. We need to continue in this trend. It is the first time I come here in my new capacity. 1 year ago, I was the Director General of Enterprise and Industry. Today, I have been assigned the responsibilities of the internal market, enterprise, industry, SMEs, a new DG, which from the 1st of January will have a new name. And the new name is DG Growth. And don't laugh, don't smile, because we really mean it. We really need to make the European economy grow, and this is going to be the challenge, and this is going to be the main purpose of our work. Now, it is a special evening for many colleagues today, for many people, the nominees of this second edition of the European Small and Mid-Caps Awards. And I was looking at the prospectus, at the paper you gave us, and I think the members of the jury must have had a very difficult task. I see companies from logistics, from the telecoms, biopharma, agri-food, energy, even good energy. I didn't know there was bad energy, but there's a company called Good Energy. Solar, digital, and there is even a company called Silly. I was saying, is this a company or is it something referring to EU regulation? No, but it's one of the nominees. So let me start by asking from all of you a big round of applause to all the finalists. And you really deserve this applause because, as finalists, you are an example of two very important things. First of all, European SMEs can be successful. Second, European SMEs can and should go public. And my first message is that European SMEs can succeed. Today, there is a lot of skepticism, a lot of pessimism in Europe. Many people are saying to be successful, you have to go outside Europe. The economy is not good. We are having sluggish growth. We are seeing an improvement. But to grow, you have to leave. You will have more opportunities. Well, all the companies that are here today have proved that this is wrong, that it is possible for small companies, for entrepreneurs to succeed. And this is extremely important because we want all of you to be role models for other European SMEs. And this is, I think, one of the key purposes of the awards. But there is a second message which comes out of these awards, and it is that European SMEs can and should go public. It is worth going public. A stock exchange plays several roles for the European Union. It gives the fuel for SME growth, but it is also an essential long-term financing tool for viable companies. And within this context, initial public offerings, IPOs, and IPO markets are a great opportunity for SMEs and mid-caps, because thanks to IPOs, you can actually generate jobs and innovation. Equity markets are those where no interest rate has to be paid for the money an SME gets. And this is their unique role, which we have to underline, because they provide risk capital to foster competitiveness. And we have to keep in mind that equity markets also play an important role because they are a funding escalator. An IPO can also be read as an efficient exit strategy for venture capital investments. There is actually an exit opportunity for the investment, and further capital investments are attracted for SMEs. Last but not least, we know that stock exchanges are also relevant for the stakeholders and for the whole ecosystem, for market makers, for sponsors, for underwriters, for financial analysts, for brokers, for auditors, and of course for investors too. But I have a third message. The EU can actually help. This may be a surprise to some. I want to refer, you remember what President Reagan used to say, the most terrifying words in the English language is when someone knocks at your door, you open the door, and this person says, "Hello, I am from the government, I am here to help you." Well, I am not saying today or tonight, "Hello, I am from the EU, I am here to help you." But in fact, we are helping SMEs. We are trying, through our European programs, to deliver more access to finance for the real economy. We need to make the finance reach the real economy. Today, President Juncker was announcing his European Strategic Investment Fund, which can mobilize up to 300 billion euros, which can materialize in projects for energy, for transport, for innovation, for health, for education, for SMEs. I would like to have your commitment. I would like that you look into this plan. Vice President Katainen is going to start a roadshow. I think there are possibilities to work together, if you would be interested, to attract private capital into this big project. Well-developed European capital markets can make a significant contribution to achieve the objectives of growth and jobs. We need to revitalize the whole ecosystem. Europe has been doing badly. I was reading an article some days ago of Mr. Ruvini. He was saying the world economy is like a plane. I used to be director of aviation in a previous life. It's a plane with 4 engines. And out of the 4 engines, the European engine has not done very well. The Japanese engine, the Abenomics, you see what's happening now. The emerging economies, so we have a global economy functioning right now in 1 engine, which is the United States. We need to change the situation. Europe has to regain competitiveness, it has to regain growth, it has to regain jobs, and for that, we need, with your support, with your help, we need money to flow into the real economy. Over the past 6 years, 1,000 companies less listed in the EU. Christian Hans was mentioning this figure. But the situation is changing. We need to make the change sustainable, and we need also to explain that when SMEs go public, they multiply their chances. They multiply their growth and their chances of success. Over the period 2014-2020, the European Union will be deploying new financial instruments, the COSME program, an equity facility for growth under the European Investment Fund, for the first time in history, a program exclusively reserved for SMEs, Horizon 2020 for innovative SMEs and mid-caps. We will have regional funding for smart specialization. There are many opportunities. And I want you to be aware of these possibilities, and we have to do a special effort to draw awareness to these possibilities into the real economy. We will continue working in this direction. Now, before concluding, because I am the last obstacle between you and the main course, I would like to say I feel a little bit the suspense in the room. This is like the Oscar, and I see already people are getting nervous, but we have to keep the suspense. I have been asked to give the keynote speak to maintain the suspense. But I would like to conclude, before concluding, with a final message, which is the importance of working together. The partnership, the successful marriage between the real economy and financial markets is essential. This is the secret of the success. I'm speaking about a marriage, real economy, financial markets. I don't know who is the bride or the bridegroom. It doesn't matter. Even if now with the new legislation throughout Europe, there is no discrimination. But I think it is very important to consolidate this relationship, to make this partnership work, to work together with the European institutions, to work together with the member states, to work with the SMEs, to work with the entrepreneurs. Because if we work together, we can really improve the business environment. If we are able to strike a right balance with the regulation, if we can look at taxation issues to have the right framework conditions, to have a favorable ecosystem, we can really do many things in Europe. This is the great challenge, and this is a challenge where we cannot fail. And we cannot fail because we owe it to the thousands of SMEs, to the thousands of entrepreneurs all over Europe, which are every day fighting to develop a project, to create wealth, to offer their communities more job opportunities. We owe it to all of you because your presence here represents the fact that in Europe, in spite of the crisis, in spite of the problems, it is still possible to do the three most extraordinary things that a human being can do. And these three things are to dream, to create, and to achieve. Thank you very much.